Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Tariq Radwan, from the Egyptian delegation to the Council of Europe and the Parliamentary Assembly. I was wondering if you could talk to us about the democratic transitions going on currently in Egypt since the Arab Spring and the different revolutions.
Thank you very much, William. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for hosting me today. Well, Egypt, let me tell you, for the past 4 or 5 years has been absent from the presence in the Council of Europe. And during that period, Egypt was experiencing a roller coaster ride, let me say it this way. And we have experienced back in January 2011, our first revolution that has forced Mubarak to step down and his regime. Unfortunately, the people were not organized to practice politics or to experience the role of experiencing political setup. The only team that was ready and have experienced political organization were the Muslim Brotherhood, where they have succeeded in overriding the parliament by that time, early 2012, as well as the presidential elections in mid-2012, and was concluded by writing their own constitution with their amendments and their in and outs in January 2013. I must admit that this situation has led people to gather in a collective behavior and gather once again by mid-2013 and force the Muslim Brotherhood to step down on 3rd of July 2013, and by that time the Egyptians gathered under one flag, writing their first roadmap for how do we say it, amending the Egyptian society once again. We had our constitution, the new constitution that was approved in January 2014. We had our presidential election that was conducted in mid-May 2014, and finalized by finalizing the third step of the roadmap, which is the parliamentary election that took place during December 2015. And we were sworn in as MPs early in January 2016. Of course, we have experienced several issues related to economic deterioration. We had the terrorist attacks by that time, starting in Sinai, spreading out into Egypt. We had people being killed, civilian people being killed, whether they are Egyptians or foreigners. We had also losses reaching to 1,300 civilians being killed through that period, innocent civilians, as well as 3,000 from the military body being killed during the course of action in Sinai and all over Egypt. I must tell you, because always geography plays a major role to position the country that you're looking into. If you come and take a look at the borders of Egypt on the east side, you find Libya, and Libya right now is in a status of turmoil, and we have to protect our borders in Libya, and these borders stretch over 1,200 kilometers. So I'm talking about 1,200 kilometers of protection.
Very long distance.
Of course. As well as weapon trafficking from the south, between the borders of Egypt with Sudan. And on the other hand, on the east side, we're looking into Sinai and what's going on in there, especially that according to officials, it has been announced that during the year of rule of the Muslim Brotherhood, they have allowed 35,000, and that's a huge number, of mujahideen to go into Sinai and penetrate Sinai, the northern Sinai and the middle Sinai. And they wanted to announce this as their little war zone to protect them against any move of civilians against their regime. because they were not keen on the relationship with the state police or the military. By
Of course, there are quite some clear divides.
And as you see, after they were forced to step down, terrorism has increased. So
Yeah.
it's a reversed equation. You make me walk away, you pay back. So this was the main goal, is to make Egypt kneel, Egyptian people kneel in front of their economical crisis or terrorism attacks. How do you say it? Drop in tourism indicators, drop in investment indicators, ruining infrastructure that
Yes.
costs us a lot. I must tell you some figures that we have deficits in the state budget worth over 35 billion US dollars, and that's due to what I've been mentioning right now.
And do you think that now, that with the current government, that democratic procedures are coming into place, will come into place after these problems are solved?
Eventually, yes, because the 2014 constitution have granted the parliament major responsibilities that have been taken away from the president and given to the parliament. Among this is we are looking into now is drafting the law for local councils. We are drafting the law for investment. We're drafting the law of civil service. A lot of these actions that need input from the parliament will be imposed on the government, the executive body.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, William, and hope we can meet together
Meet together soon enough.
Thank you very much. Thank you.